What is good, YouTube? It is Andy here from kaizentcg. I run an online Pokemon business, and Bitcoin crashed yesterday. 15% down. It's down to 60,000. All-time high 125. That's a 50%, down from its all-time high. That's a crash. And Pokemon, on the other hand, holding strong, hitting new all-time high, unaffected, unfazed. And this video, I wanted to talk about, how Bitcoin and Pokemon was regarded to be, correlated. And it was during COVID when I started collecting Pokemon. Crypto was, it was down under 10K. When the pandemic first happened, and it ripped up all the way up to 60K, and Pokemon also had the boom as well. Now there's a lot of external factors, we were stuck at home, things like that, but yeah, so every time Bitcoin would go on a run, Pokemon would also see the bump in that, and people would use their crypto to buy Pokemon. Like even Rudy from Alpha Investment says that recently, last year, he was selling Evolving Skies boxes for Bitcoin. So a lot of people were doing that. And in a bull market, crypto bull market, Pokemon bull market, you'll see in the Facebook groups, people will basically accept crypto as payment. And for large orders, people will accept crypto as payment just because it's easier to move large sum of money as well. But yesterday was it was huge because Pokemon's holding strong. You look at something like even metals, gold and silver, right? They've been on a historic run as well. Gold hitting, I think, 5.5K USD all-time high. It was like 4.3 at the beginning of this year, and it was 5.5 at the all-time high, and even that dipped down to like 5K. Year to date, it's still up about 5-10%. And then you got silver, which made a massive run. Arguably silver and One Piece that was the play. And silver, last year you could get it for really cheap, but like it ran up from $70 earlier this year all the way up to $121 just a couple weeks ago. It had a crash of 30% in a day in a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, crashing 30% in a day. And yesterday had a pullback, and it's hovering around the 70-ish now, still down 30 to 4% from its all-time high. And Pokemon, we had our correction. I wouldn't say it was a crash, it was a correction around November, December, going into the new year. People got scared, but things held. Like, we had the alt arts, PSA 10 alt arts were still, they're down 30-40% from their all-time highs, but they ran up so much. So even if you held it from 2025, beginning of 2025, you're up big, right? And it's interesting because now we're seeing the decoupling of TCG and collectibles to Bitcoin. Now everything kind of correlates in some sense, but Bitcoin used to be heavily tied to Pokemon, and I think it's a pivotal moment that we're starting to see that collectibles are starting to do its own thing, be its own asset. And along with this as well is One Piece is doing its thing. It's a lot of stuff is hitting all-time highs. Boxes are still selling for very high. You got big news that distributors are getting added to Bandai's menu. So basically, Peach State and Southern Hobby are also going to be distributing One Piece going forward, because it used to just be Alliance. So now there's multiple distributors. So sounds like Bandai is cranking up the printers. But One Piece is doing well, and a lot of One Piece is crypto guys putting money into One Piece as well, and that's pumping it. A lot of guys in Dubai, a lot of people in Asia and stuff like that. But One Piece is doing well. Pokemon is doing fantastic. Japanese Pokemon going bananas right now, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but like, for example, Evolving Skies Rayquaza, so Blue Sky Stream in Japan, that Rayquaza is going for 900,000 yen. So it's going for triple almost, yeah, 3 times or more the English variant, because lower pop, they never reprinted Blue Sky Stream. And then the Japanese Umbreon is going for almost 700,000 yen, and that is slightly above the English one. Nicer texture too, lower pop. And the ponchos are going nuts. Like the Rayquazas are catching up to the Charizard ponchos, and the Marios continue to hit all-time highs, and Japanese promo exclusives are hitting all-time highs. So Japanese market is booming along with English. Now English, certain slabs have not reached back to its all-time high, but it's creeping up there. 151 Charizard slowly getting back up there. Bubble Mew almost back to 2,000. Giratina, Gengar VMAX, like all these have made a V-shaped recovery from its lows a couple months ago, and it's starting to take off to its the next leg up, you know. And while that's happening to crypto, Pokemon is just growing and booming. We got Ascendant Heroes. Who knows what those PSA 10s are going to go for? It's probably going to go for a ridiculous amount. And I think collectibles, one thing I'll say is, if you guys were around during 2021, 2022, NFTs was a big thing, right? The JPEG, digital ownership, but there was no real world use cases. So there was like Bored Apes and crypto punks and stuff like that people dumped millions of dollars into, that had no real world use case. And it was an interesting technology or idea, but then it flooded the market with all these different type of JPEG projects and rug pulls, and they all crashed and never recovered. Well, the reason why I bring that up is Pokemon is the real world NFT. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at Pokemon, right, cards of a certain set, of a certain species, of a certain type, they're printed limited amounts in a sense that there will be a 2-year, 3-year print window, and after that it stops printing. So whatever's out in the world is whatever's out in the world. And then you got grading companies like PSA that authenticate it, and they give it a certain number, which is, you know, and then you mint, or the PSA 10 will have a pop report, and that pop report increases over time, but it authenticates it, and then you can trade it, you can buy it, sell it, and hold it. It's a tangible asset, the Pokemon cards, right? Especially slabs. And you can use whatever app to look up the pricing, and generally you'll get a ballpark of what the value is depending on the grade. And I think people are realizing that, you know, we live in a world where a lot of things are going digital, and Pokemon is that physical thing that people cling on to, the nostalgia. And this market is just ever growing. It's getting more optimized. There's so much opportunity, and it's beautiful to see even TCGs in general. Like back in COVID time, DBZ was a big thing. So, and Yu-Gi-Oh, and even they're making a comeback. So you got DBZ, Yu-Gi-Oh, you got One Piece, you got Riftbound, and you got Pokemon. Like all of them are booming at the same time right now, which is awesome, right? So it just shows the health of the market, because before it was just Pokemon. So it's feast or famine, just one TCG. But now that everything's booming, money's flowing to all these different TCG. Now, the risk curve that people are taking is because, people are speculating, hey, I want to get in early to Gundam or Riftbound, and hoping, just like One Piece, you ride it out, and then you never know if it does take off, because the people that got early into One Piece, they're making out like bandits right now, right? And then Pokemon's just tried and true. And when you look at it compared to crypto right now, it's looking like the safer bet. 100%. It's tangible. You can't click a button to sell it, but at least you can trade it, you can sell it, you can enjoy it, you can collect it. And Bitcoin, in the long run, who knows? It's digital. It's a 2008 technology. The world's changing with technology. But seeing that 50% correction or crash compared to Pokemon, it's crazy to see it, but it's decoupled. Pokemon's its own asset, and it's starting to become, more of a reality of being a legit alternative asset. It's not just some kid's trading card game anymore. It was, but people like you and I, millennials, there's some Gen Zs, but millennials is really, driving this market. All of us that are in our 30s and 40s are putting money into things we enjoy, turning into the real life businesses as well. So many people have quit their full-time job in corporate America, corporate jobs, and started their own Pokemon business, and they're thriving, man. They're flourishing, working as your own boss, working for yourself, building something for yourself. Working for someone else, you're always going to be capped of what your potential earnings can be, but working for yourself, it just is limitless in the sense that it just all depends on you. Like, as far as you can take it, the amount of input you put in is the amount of output you get out. And I think millennials see the value in Pokemon. These items are very scarce, and people love to enjoy it. They love to look at the art. It's modern day art. Like, that's the thing with the NFTs is like, yeah, people are saying it was art, but everything's digital. You could get it, you could literally copy it and have it on the screen. But to have a physical, let's say, first edition Charizard or Rayquaza Gold Star PSA 10, there's only X amount of those. There's like a handful of those all over the world, and to have in your hands, you can say you have it, and people like that, like to enjoy that. They like to show it off. People like to flex, right? And people like to collect. And with Pokemon, I think the millennials are really putting their money where their mouth is and doubling down on just something they love, they enjoy. It's just like back in the day, our parents, they collected stamps and coins. And for us, it's collectibles, it's sports cards, it's action figures, it's sealed product, it's Pokemon. And then I'm sure Gen Z will have the thing that they will gravitate towards, but the millennials, we're in our careers and we're in that middle part of life right now where we have disposable income and putting money where we want. And I think going forward, things are going to be different. You can't just look at the way crypto's going and then correlating it to Pokemon anymore. You could look at the whole macroeconomics and like, yeah, of course, if the world is having a downtrend, then it will affect the sales of Pokemon. But I think Pokemon is a lot easier to understand than crypto, and it's a lot less risky, and it's more fun. Because there's so many things in crypto that you have to learn. You get scammed a lot. Pokemon, you do get scammed too, but it's less likely if you do the right things. But you get hacked a lot. You get you lose your seed phrase or your password, and your coins are gone, right? And then with Pokemon, it's just, hey, some people just like the art, they like to collect it, and it's just as simple as that. Some people like value. Some people look for low pop cards that have been undervalued, and they get onto that, And then some people are just chasing certain Pokemon that's their favorite. They want to collect all of it. And I just think that this is a huge moment, and Pokemon is gonna take off to another level this year. And I might just be a bullish hyper shill, but I just believe that with the sets coming, Ascendant Heroes, amazing set. Can't get any of it. Won't be able to get any of it for a long time for a good price. Just because the demand of it to open that set is going to be through the roof. The Pikachus are already going crazy. People love the Dragonite, the Gengar. Gengar sets always do well. And then, perfect order. Okay, that's a speed bump. No one really cares. Throw it out there. Some people rip it, most people won't. And then you got Rising Chaos coming. And then you got Rising Chaos with the Greninja. Then you got the Rayquaza set. And then rumored Sapphire and Ruby, Groudon Kyogre. And then we haven't even talked about the 30th. Like, let's say they knock the 30th out of the park. Now, granted, 25th anniversary isn't the best set. Generations wasn't popular when it came out either. But who knows? Maybe Pokemon learned and will make it even better. We don't know. But up to the 30th, it's full steams ahead. Card shows are crazy. We got a big one this weekend, actually tomorrow here in Vancouver, Collectopia, where we have they're doing the TCG Hall of Fame, and it's going to be a crazy show. A lot of people from out of town are coming in. That's going to be nuts. And then just everywhere around the world, there's just so many new collectors, sports card shows happening. And it's not only, and it's I love to see it. Like, it's not only Pokemon at the card shows, right? There's other TCGs like One Piece doing really well, and sports people do their thing, and it's right now, it's a crazy time to be alive. And you looked at the chart the other day where it showed Bitcoin down 50% while Charizard is maintaining or up. Like, if you would have told me that a couple years ago, I would be like, no way. But hey, this is life. You just never know, right? And Pokemon over the last 20 years has outpaced the S&P 500 by hundreds of percentage points. Think about that. It's crazy. And the company is doing good. Like, they aren't doing anything controversial. They continue to innovate. Pokemon Pocket brought in a lot of new people. The new Switch games are going to bring in a lot of new people. And then you got Lego collab, which is a massive one. That drops this month, I think. That's going to bring in a lot of Lego collectors into Pokemon. So it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's proliferating, and I think that this bull run could stay for a while. Like, who knows? It could be a few years, or sustained bull run. It could be the norm, because although they're opening a print facility, it's not going to be until 2028. So 2027, 2028, still another year and a half. The older sets, that means that the older sets are going to be very valuable. Sword and Shield, early SV. Look at Destin. just running right now. $600 a box. Did a video of the market recap the other day if you guys want to check that out. It's just it's a good time to be alive and be a part of this hobby and enjoy the hobby. And it's crazy that Pokemon's outpacing Bitcoin now on top of the S&P, and probably safer than metals, which is crazy, right? I don't know. It doesn't feel real sometimes, and truly grateful to be a part of the hobby. And the blessing in disguise, during COVID was that first box that got me back into Pokemon, XY Evolutions from Amazon for $80. And that started the rabbit hole, and here we are today, and who knows what the future holds ahead in the next 5-10 years or foreseeable future. But I think Pokemon just continues to grow and does well. And if it does pull back, then hey, we can get packs for back what it was like 3 years ago under MSRP. I'm happy. I'll be ripping again. I'll be enjoying. I'll be investing in certain sets that I like, and I don't mind it. Either way, ebbs and flows in the market, I'll adapt. And with the whole Bitcoin thing, I think we'll see how that plays out. I think it's going to be a while before it hits an all-time high again. It's a lot of unwinding of leverage that was in that market, and now it's unraveling. And this time it's not even, last time it crashed because of FTX and SBF and Terra Luna and stuff. This time it's just people are just over leveraged and everything's just unwinding. And if you still believe in Bitcoin, it's not at the all-time high. It's 50% from the all-time high. So for those people, it's an opportunity there. But for me, I just still think Pokemon's a better investment, a better vehicle, and just way more fun than just looking at numbers on a screen go up and down. I can buy certain cards, enjoy it. It goes up or down. I can get out of it. I can trade into other cards. I meet all these people in walk of life, and just have fun with it. With even with metals, like you have coins and stuff. It's cool to look at, but it's not the same. Not the same as Pokemon, man. The community aspect of Pokemon too is unreal. You meet so many cool people, and there's just so much opportunity right now. And 2026 might be even a bigger year for Pokemon than 2025, which is crazy because 2025 was explosive. And with how everything's shaping out, with distro cutting allocations for the bigger stores and bigger LGSs, there's just gonna be less product for people, or harder for people to get, and that's just gonna drive up prices. And then I'm even hearing in Japan, prices are going up on sealed product. Here in Canada, they raised it up on Pokemon Center by a few bucks. So I just think that we're in a healthy market. There's a lot of demand. There's enough scarcity where it's not like impossible to get. Well, for some people, right? And that's why rip and ships do really well, because a lot of people don't have time to run over to their Walmart or Costco or Target to line up and buy product, or the Pokemon vending machine and stuff like that. That's a younger person's game, or a person that has free time's game. But for people that have some income and they have some capital and they don't have the free time, that's why rip and ships is so popular. You just come home after a long day of work, hop on their screen, watch their favorite ripper, buy some packs, and have some fun, degen, and get some nostalgia and get some stressful even, right? Oh, could be stressful too, but you know what I mean? And those guys, those rip and shippers, are adding to this economy in the sense that they're always going to be paying high because they can charge higher. So if you're offering 70%, well, you got repackers and rip and shippers walking around offering 90, 95%. It will sustain the price. And the prime example of that, let's take a look at two products that got reprinted and it's still holding strong. Well, one was Prismatic. Prismatic's been getting reprinted every month. It's still selling for 140 US ETB. The SPC is still high, and that set's been reprinted so many times, and it's still holding strong. That shows the demand. And then you got Phantasmal Flame, right? The booster boxes came in a second wave, which was more than the first wave, and it dipped to like the 210s, 220s. Now it's back to a $300 box, and that set's not even that good. Like, it has a Charizard, that's it. Everything else is like mid, but the Charizard is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The Charizard might be defining for the Mega era, or at least ultra modern. It's gonna be it'll rival the Sumbreon and the Moonbreon, in my opinion, just because from my experience of vending at the shows, I see the amount of people that are interested in it, the amount of people that are transacting in the English version, Japanese version. They love the card, and I don't see that changing for the foreseeable future. And it's easy to pull, so a lot of people are loving that card, and that product shot right back up. So even perfect order, I don't think. I made a video saying that it could go under MSRP. I'm changing my mind. I think it will hold MSRP or be higher, even if it's a crap set, just because there's just not enough out there. People are just gonna grab. There's a different market now where there's rip and shippers, there's businesses, there's investors, and then there's the collectors that want to rip. Just the demand is crazy, and then the prices are just accelerating so fast, and Pokemon can't catch up with the demand right now, but we'll see in the future. They might get a handle on things, but I think for Scarlet Violet, a couple months away here, the first block, 151, stuff like that are going to be out of print, and that's gonna be crazy, because when it's out of print in April, it's gonna coincide with Ascended Heroes bundles coming out, and we'll have ETBs by then, so it's going to be the peak of the market, and we'll see what happens. And it's going to be around after tax season too, so people have their income tax funds to dump into more Pokemon. So yeah, in this video I just wanted to talk to you guys about seeing that crazy Bitcoin crash, and it didn't faze Pokemon at all. Pokemon's chilling. If anything, things are going up. And not only in English, but Japanese is starting to... certain things are getting more expensive than English. Like, English seems like a better play in some more undervalued stuff right now. Japanese is going nuts. So the global phenomenon of Pokemon continues. And yeah, monitor, see what happens with crypto and everything. But if you guys enjoyed the content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. You guys take it easy. Andy out. Peace.